All right, everybody, welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're going to be talking about something super interesting.
Yeah.
And that is ReadingCoach from Microsoft 365.
Yeah, this is a cool one.
It is a cool one. I'm excited to learn more about this.
Yeah.
I will be upfront. I don't know a ton about ReadingCoach, but I know you've done a lot of research on this.
Yeah, I've been looking into it.
So I think this will be really interesting for our audience. You know, they're teachers and people who follow education technology.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe today we can kind of figure out what ReadingCoach does, how it works, and why people should care.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
All right, so what is ReadingCoach?
So ReadingCoach is this tool in Microsoft 365, and it's really built to help learners improve their reading fluency.
Okay.
And it does it in a really interesting way. It uses AI to analyze a student's reading aloud, and it can pick up on things like, their pacing, their pronunciation, even things like the tone of their voice.
Tone of voice, so it can tell if somebody is like struggling or if they're kind of like breezing through it.
Yeah, or if they're like a little bit unsure about a word or they're hesitant. It picks up on all these things.
Oh, that's so interesting.
And then based on that, it gives feedback and it recommends exercises.
I see. So it's not just like a spell check.
Right, exactly. It's not just like, oh, you mispronounced this word. It's like, hey, I noticed that you're kind of slowing down here. Maybe we need to work on this particular skill.
Oh, so it really is like a coach in that sense.
Yeah, that's why they call it ReadingCoach.
I see. So, how does this actually, I guess the AI part is really interesting to me. Like, how is it actually listening to someone read and, understanding all these things?
It's pretty amazing what they've been able to do with AI and, speech recognition and natural language processing.
Yeah.
It can break down the audio, like the sounds of the words, and compare it to, a database of correct pronunciations. But it can also go beyond that and, analyze the pauses and the inflections and all those things that we do naturally when we read.
So it's really picking up on those subtle cues that maybe, as a human listener, I might not even notice.
Right, exactly.
But the AI is tuned into that.
Yeah, it's paying attention to all those little details.
So what are some of the, the benefits of this for students?
Well, I think one of the biggest benefits is that it gives students this immediate feedback. Yeah. It's not like they have to wait until the next day for the teacher to grade their assignment.
Yeah.
They're getting that feedback right away as they're reading, which is when it's most valuable.
It makes me think about, when I was learning to play the piano. Mm-hmm. You need to know right away, if you're hitting the wrong note.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the same kind of principle.
Yeah, you don't want to, practice the wrong thing for a week and then be like, oh, wait, I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
Yeah, you need that real-time feedback to adjust.
Exactly. So that makes a lot of sense for students.
Yeah.
And what about teachers? How does this fit into, a teacher's workflow?
Well, one of the things that's cool is that it integrates with Reading Progress.
Okay.
Which is a feature in Microsoft Teams that a lot of teachers are already using.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of Reading Progress.
Yeah, so Reading Progress lets students record themselves reading, and then they can submit that recording to the teacher.
Okay.
But with ReadingCoach built in, now students can practice and get that AI feedback before they even hit record.
So it's they can kind of rehearse.
Exactly. They can rehearse and perfect their reading before they send it to the teacher for a grade.
Oh, wow. That's really smart.
And that can save teachers a ton of time because they're not having to listen to really rough drafts.
Yeah.
They're getting these more polished recordings from students.
And they're also, the students are hopefully learning more in the process.
Exactly. They're getting more practice. They're getting more feedback. So they're improving their skills faster.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So we've talked about students and teachers, but I'm curious, who else could benefit from this?
Well, it's not just for classroom settings.
Okay.
Think about anyone who's learning a new language.
Oh, yeah.
ReadingCoach could be really helpful for practicing pronunciation.
Oh, yeah.
Think about learning Spanish or French and you're trying to get the accent right.
Yeah.
The AI could give you feedback on your intonation and how close you are to native pronunciation.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah. And, it could even be helpful for people who just want to improve their speaking clarity in general.
Okay.
If you do a lot of public speaking or presentations.
Oh, that's a great point. Yeah.
ReadingCoach could help you identify any habits or patterns that might be making it hard for people to understand you.
If you're talking too fast or mumbling your words or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. So there's really a wide range of applications here.
Yeah, it's pretty versatile.
Yeah. Okay, so it sounds like ReadingCoach has a lot of potential, but I'm always curious, like, what's the actual evidence that it works?
Yeah, that's a fair question.
Like, does it actually make a difference?
Well, Microsoft has done some studies on this, and they've found that students who use ReadingCoach show significant improvements in their reading fluency and their comprehension.
So it's not just like, they're reading faster, but they're actually understanding what they're reading better.
Exactly. Yeah, they're able to read more smoothly, but they're also absorbing the information.
And, I think that's always the goal, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not just about reading quickly. It's about actually getting something out of what you're reading.
Right, exactly.
And I imagine that this kind of like personalized feedback and like the sense of progress that students get from using ReadingCoach probably helps with their motivation too, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you feel like you're making progress, you're more likely to stick with it.
Yeah.
And ReadingCoach does a really good job of like providing that positive reinforcement and celebrating those small wins.
Yeah. Makes me think about like fitness apps, like when you close your rings or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you get that little dopamine hit and you're like, okay, I want to do this again tomorrow.
Yeah, it's all about making it engaging and rewarding.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
So, okay, I think we've covered a lot of ground here today.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on ReadingCoach?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting to see how technology like this can be used to personalize learning.
Yeah.
And I think it really has the potential to transform how we teach and learn reading.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's definitely a tool that I'm going to be looking into more for my own kids and for just from my own personal learning as well.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me on this deep dive today. I hope everyone
Yeah.
learned something new about ReadingCoach.
Yeah, this was fun.
And be sure to check out the show notes for links to learn more.
Yeah, we'll have some resources there.
And until next time, keep on learning.
Keep on reading.
Happy reading, everyone.
Yeah. Bye. Bye.